Hello and welcome everybody to today's Commodities Corner, of course presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. If there are any questions, guys, just during the session, feel free to just put those into the chat, okay? And it's good to see lots of you on here today. So hi there to Mike, Richard, good to see you again, Richard, Ali, Andrew, Baraka, of course, Carla, hi there, Darren, Edwin, Kashal, Ken. So guys, any questions, do let me know. Maria, Michael, hey, good to see you, Nirmal, and Ravin. Okay, guys, so we've got lots to cover during today's session, so we'll get cracking. So, of course, today we'll be doing an overview of the commodities markets. We'll be covering our top trades of the week. We'll be doing live technical analysis and trading, identifying highly profitable trade setups, and, of course, answering any questions you may have during the session as well. Okay, so before we get started, let me just introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. We're an international commodities trading research and advisory group specializing in the precious metals, the energies, the agricultural markets. We are recognized as the leading go-to authority on commodities. So as international respected experts, our analysis and opinions on the metals, energies, agricultural markets are routinely sought by major financial television channels, publications including Bloomberg, Reuters, CNN, Global Banking and Finance Review, and the Wall Street Journal. And our team of experts has advised and taught technical analysis, fundamental research and portfolio management to more than 50,000 private and institutional clients worldwide now. So for further information on the Gold and Silver Club and our expertise, please do feel free just to go along to our website, www.thegoldandsilverclub.com. Okay, so before we get started, we'll just quickly have a look at the gold price at the moment. Gold looking very interesting. Gold currently trading at 1,180 US dollars per ounce. So definitely consolidating so far during the European session, and we'll have a look at that this afternoon, the potential for some trade opportunities. I see some potential setups also developing here on oil for today. So before we do so, let's look at the top trades of the week using the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies. So first of all, we discussed this last week. We're looking for a sell short opportunity on gold. We've been in this since the third, when we had a nice breakdown of gold. This really followed through very nicely indeed on non-farm payroll on Friday. We continued to break down. We came all the way down to the lower end of the trend channel. This was a very simple full trade for the price to close lower than 1,187 US dollars per ounce. That delivered very nicely indeed. You may remember this time last week, we were looking for breakouts on Brent crude oil. As we came into this week, we had the OPEC meeting on Friday. We saw some retests of the lower end of a trend channel. That channel held, and we saw breakouts. So we took day trades, we took swing trades, and those are all moving nicely. We've seen our entry price from earlier on this week. We had another breakout trade on Brent crude oil entering at 64.72. That closed higher for a quick day trade. We've had some nice moves on oil over the last week and good breakouts on that. Also followed that through light sweet crude oil as well, where we had a breakout trade for the price to be higher, entering at 59.21 earlier on this week. We've just been ricocheting between support and resistance for oil all week, and that has provided again some good breakout trades here for light sweet crude oil and Brent crude oil. So I'll talk you through the technicals very shortly, the additional setups that I'm looking at as we go into next week. And very critical, very important for you to note, next Wednesday is the big one. Next Wednesday is the FOMC statement, the highly anticipated FOMC statement. That's on Wednesday, the 17th of June. Okay, we'll be trading that live at the Gold and Silver Club. I'll give you some more details on that shortly. If you've never traded an FOMC before, or you don't know the overall characteristics, I'll go through it a little bit today, but we're going to be trading that live with all of our traders next Wednesday, and I'll give you details on how you can actually join us for that too. So today we'll be looking at the rise and the full type of trades on binary.com. This is so straightforward. All we do is we look for a rise to win the payout. If the market exit price is strictly higher than the entry price, we win the trade. So we only need the price to close 1 point higher than our entry. We win the entire trade. For a full trade, we just need to have the price close lower than our entry price. So the price needs to fall over an allotted period of time. And it just needs to close 1 point lower than our initial entry over the time frame that we specify, and you win the entire payout. Okay, so very straightforward way to trade the financial markets, particularly the commodities such as oil, which can be pretty volatile. Palladium, platinum, also great because you don't have to pay the big spreads that you usually get. So we'll go over live technical analysis and trading now. So I'm going to start sharing my other screen with you. Okay, so let me just bring this out. And let's start off looking at gold. Yeah, gold's looking good. Let's move over to my other screen. Bear with me. Okay, just a quick check. You can see my screen right now. We've got gold up at the moment. My gold chart right now. So let's just check in. You can see that. Okay. Okay, perfect. Right. So what you want to have a look at the moment, we'll move over. Let's have a look first at the US dollar, and then we'll discuss gold. So the US dollar at the moment is definitely finding some support at the lower end of this trend channel, right? You can see we've been hovering around the lower end of support for about 3 days now. Got very clear horizontal support here as well, which is sitting around the 94.62 level. So what you'll note, why is the US dollar interesting? Why do I care about the US dollar? Because a lot of the commodities we trade, such as gold, such as silver, they're all priced in US dollars. So if the price of the US dollar gets stronger, those precious metals priced in US dollars are going to sell off and weaken. So if you see strength in the US dollar, you often see weakness in the precious metals and vice versa, okay? So at the moment, the US dollar is finding support towards the lower end of the trend channel. If it can get a move on this afternoon and we get a potential breakout to the upside here, breaking above the last 4 days worth of highs, this is definitely going to put pressure on gold and silver and platinum and palladium, and we can look for sell short opportunities. So I'm keeping a very close eye on the US dollar as we go into the US session. Now, silver at the moment has already given us a sell short opportunity. You'll see we've got this staircase pattern where we reached the top at the end of May. So a lot of you who've been on the sessions throughout May and June, you will note that we were looking for bearish seasonalities, particularly when a lot of traders were calling for a bottom in the market. They're all jumping on the bandwagon. The gold and silver have bottomed. It's time to get in. We saw a lot of this, right, at the end of May when we saw this breakout, and a lot of traders would have just got slammed on that because we, as experienced commodity traders, know that May is typically bearish towards the end of May, June in particular, and we've just continued to see a breakdown in price here, especially as a lot of traders would have tried to catch a potential bottom in the market here over the end of May, which meant that a lot of potential traders who would have got in right at the highs here, speculators and so on, as the market breaks down, it really starts to escalate because it also takes out all those fresh speculators who got into the market too high. So this is why we've seen quite a good breakdown in silver. It's been really nice, actually. Now we're sitting at the lower end of the trend channel here, so it is a bit of a supportive zone. I'm looking to see whether we can take the legs of support between now and the FOMC announcement next week, because often you can see some weakness in the metals prior to the FOMC statement anyway. You tend to see some nervousness. Traders want to unwind their positions. They don't know what the FOMC is going to say, whether there'll be a rate hike and when that will be this year. That will be a very important statement. So if you can imagine, if traders have been long gold or silver since earlier on in the year, they're hesitant about this trade. They don't know what to do, whether they should stay in for the FOMC next week or they should get out. A lot of those traders will potentially get out of the market. And if they do close their positions, it causes the price to go down, which is what we often see prior to FOMC announcements. Now, the other point on that as well is that also a lot of traders are nervous prior to FOMC and they won't get into the market, which causes consolidations, and you see the price just channel. And then once it channels, we look for a breakout on the actual statement. So the June FOMC statement, which we've got coming up next Wednesday, is traditionally one of the biggest of the year. Last year, we saw a 400-point move on gold in 24 hours. The previous year before that, 2013, we saw a 900-point move in 3 days, just shy of 48 hours. So some impressive moves on the June FOMC, which is why I'm very much looking forward to this announcement next week for some big lucrative opportunities, some big heavy trades. So we'll just talk you through silver at the moment. There is an opportunity to sell short on this. We've broken through the consolidation. We may be a bit limited on the downside, but I see the potential to at least come down and hit the lower end of the trend channel, particularly using the binary platform. It's pretty easy in terms of you only need to finish one pip low, so you don't have to worry too much about your risk to reward. You just need the trade to finish 1 point in the direction that we predict. Okay, so I'm going to take a silver trade to sell short on silver. It's looking weak this morning, which is good. Often if the metals are going to be weak, they tend to be more weaker during the US session and stronger during the European session. So the fact that we've already got weakness this morning, we formed a rejection candle yesterday, but it didn't get breached. The high of it hasn't been breached, and we've continued to sell off. Okay, so I'm going to go for a sell short on silver. So I'm just going to bring out my deal ticket here. So I've got silver at the moment. All I've gone into the platform is up, down. Okay, so very straightforward. You just want to go into commodities on the platform, up and down, rise and fall, metals, silver, start time now. In fact, don't want start time now. I want that in 9 minutes time. Okay, so I want that to, it's almost like a pending order. Let me just refresh that, see why it's not refreshing. Let's get into minutes here. Actually, we've got into hours. We want to just be out of this by this afternoon to get the prices. Probably we're going to be in this about 6 hours. Yep, perfect. There we go. There is the trade. Okay, so we are looking for silver. You can adjust, of course, whatever you want this to be in terms of your profit target on the trade. I'm looking for silver to be lower by in 6 hours' time. Okay, so UK time, that'd be 6:40 London time. So the price, you can see 82% payout, which is pretty good. $2,201 is a deposit for a $4,000 payout. I need the price to close lower than 15.94. 15.95 over the next 6 hours. So I'm anticipating a breakdown in price this afternoon, coming down to the lower end of the trend channel. Okay, so I'm going to get the best price. I'm going to go for a sell short. So the way this works, sell short, so it's great. You can take advantage of markets, obviously selling off as well as going higher. So we will make money in this scenario if the price of silver goes down, if it closes lower than our entry price. So again, you can see on my chart, the current price of silver is $15.94. The trade here, I'm going for a lower trade. So we've got rise and fall. I'm going for a lower. I've just got the best price. So I've entered into there. Start time 11:50. So that's in 8 minutes time. Duration is 6 hours time. Get best price. I'm going for a purchase of the sell short contract. The price to be lower. Just do a quick reset, refresh. 15.95. I'll go for that. Okay, beautiful. That has been done. So I'm now in that trade for a sell short on silver. Okay, so I've gone for a sell short on silver. And what we'll look at now is also gold. So gold isn't quite there yet. What you'll tend to see, gold is ricocheting between support and resistance, almost like a bearish flag pattern setting up at the moment. Gold is at a decision point where I believe if we can take out the low of today, or particularly yesterday, we could come all the way back down to the lower end of the trend channel. And that could be quite a nice sell-off, about a 300-point sell-off. However, it may not happen today. We may continue to consolidate. This is what is known as a bearish flag pattern. Okay, so this is where you've got a market which is selling off, and then it will just retrace. Okay, and it looks, the reason that it's known as a flag, so it looks like a flag, but it's an inverted flag. Okay, so if you can imagine, this is a golf course and this is a flag in the hole, but you've got an inverted flag, and all you're waiting for is the low of the flag to break, and then what you'll tend to do is you get a big sell-off. Okay, and then you can potentially start retracing it again. The retrace often occurs through traders taking profit, or they're covering their short positions, and then you just tend to see another flag develop, and then it breaks down again. And this is where you can get a continual pattern of breaking down, of retracing, breaking down, retracing, breaking down. So this is what I'm anticipating on gold. We're not quite there yet. I don't have confirmation at the moment. I've got confirmation on silver. I'm waiting for this setup to play out on gold either today or next week prior to the FOMC statement. Now, if gold gets really tight here and it doesn't break next week, we may just see a consolidation and an eventual breakout on the FOMC statement. Also note that if we do get pressure to the upside, if the downward trending channel, which is providing resistance, breaks out to the upside, that will also cause a lot of momentum to the upside. You'll get quite an explosive move. So I see this trade going three ways: either breaking down today and giving us a sell short, breaking out to the upside, but I don't think you're going to get the momentum there today. We haven't got enough major news really to cause a significant breakout. I would see a big breakout where gold is at the moment, only on an FOMC statement or US GDP or non-farm payroll, some sort of big US announcement to cause a breakout. But other than that, I don't, unless we get something which very quickly, some breaking news which we suddenly see gold be sought after as a safe haven, I don't see a breakout to the upside. Otherwise, we'll consolidate today. We'll get tighter and tighter within this little apex which we're developing on the daily chart, and then we'll finally get a breakout. So gold, preference for a sell short, but we need to take out yesterday's low, then we can take it for a sell. Keep an eye on that. Silver's already triggered for a sell. Platinum is not far off. Platinum, we got key support at 1086 here. You can see we found support of that going back to the beginning, mid-March. Found support there again, 1086, just going back to the beginning of June. That's a key support zone. We'll be breaking down 2015 lows if we take out the legs of platinum there. So we'll keep an eye on that. It's not ready to trade yet, Palladium, similar situation, just finding support, just consolidating about $736 an ounce at the moment. You've seen about 3 or 4 tests of that major support zone, waiting for that to break for an Excel short. Not really interested in Palladium for a buy at the moment unless the FOMC statement causes the US dollar to break down, and then we see opportunities for a breakout on the metals, so not really interested in that for the time being. So really the main trade I see right now for instant execution is silver for a sell. We'll continue to monitor gold for a potential breakdown as well, and we'll move over to oil. So oil has broken out. So if you remember this time last week, we had identified that oil was finding support at the lower end of this channel. So this is where we were sitting last week, where we hadn't actually had such a significant rejection. We were literally sitting at that level, wondering whether we're going to get a breakdown or a breakout in price. We saw the breakout. We traded that this week. We had a much bigger trend channel on the daily chart. We found good confluence there. So, really taking advantage of that breakout. It's been about a 400-point move. It's been really nice on Brent to see that follow through. Now, we are getting to a point of resistance at the moment. We're seeing a little bit of rejection around the daily chart here. What I would note for you is that we do have the oil rig count coming out this afternoon. It'll be circa about 6 o'clock London time, and that can often provide some big volatility for oil. So we'll be looking out for that. I don't see an additional trade opportunity on oil yet. I'm waiting for that announcement to come out. Similar situation on light sweet crude oil. We've been ricocheting between support resistance. We came down, tested the lower end of the trend channel earlier on this week. We were sitting at this level. You probably remember from last week's session that we took several actually. We took a day trade. We also took a swing. We took a couple of swing trades on oil, anticipating the potential support and breakout. And we've seen that. And we've come all the way up to the upper end of the channel. Now it's at decision point for oil. It's either going to do one of two things. It's either going to come back down, hit the lower end of the channel, and just keep consolidating, keep hitting support and resistance, just ricocheting between that, or it will find some support here. There may be scope for a new little short-term channel to build to the upside. We may get some supportive move off the oil rig count this afternoon. So for me, I'm going to be standing by this afternoon for a potential breakout trade or a breakdown in price, but it's not ready to take a trade on yet. Oil, we took about 3 trades on this last week's session, and that's worked out nicely. So I see the best opportunity right now for instant execution trade going into silver for a sell. Watch gold this afternoon. If it breaks down, you can sell that for a short. Look for oil. If we get a breakout of resistance, you can go long. You can take a buy opportunity here on oil as well. Okay, so that's really the major setups which are starting to play out this afternoon. Okay, excellent. So question from Darren, what do the dotted lines on the chart represent? Support and resistance, Darren. So that's just giving you some key support and resistance channels on the chart there. So you can see that quite clearly. Support and resistance zones are represented by the dashed lines. Okay, perfect. So let me just talk you through the FOMC statement next week, and also the live session, which we will be doing that as well. So essentially, we will, of course, as well as our normal live sessions, which we have running throughout the week at the Gold and Silver Club, we are very excited to be trading the FOMC statement live with everybody next Wednesday. Again, the June FOMC statement tends to be a particularly lucrative statement. There are 8 a year, and September and June are, I would say, the biggest movers. Traditionally, they see the biggest breakout trade. So June will definitely be very lucrative. So we cover during the live trading room on this. We cover the live analysis, live trading ideas, live support, but we also take the trade live with everybody during this statement as well, and we manage all the follow-through of the trade. So if you'd like to join us for that session, again, it's going to be next Wednesday. That will be a very important announcement for the markets. It will often pick the direction over particularly the next week and potentially for the rest of June. This will be a major opportunity. So very simply, to join us for that, go to www.jointhegoldensilverclub.com, and I'll just make that really super easy for you. I'll just post the link in the chat so you can get to that really easily. Okay, great. And if you'd like to find out more information as well, let me just pop you the link. It's just office@thegoldensilverclub.com if you want to email us with any questions as well. Okay, perfect. So again, enrollment is by application only. The next enrollment date we're going to be doing is going to be Monday next week. Okay, that's going to be actually the deadline for the enrollment. We need that time to get all of you who will be joining us for that session. We need to get you set up with the platform. We need to get you set up on the webinar. We need to get everything done for you. So that will be the deadline. If you are interested in the FOMC statement, we're opening up enrollment for Monday the 15th, but you will need to get in touch with us today in order for us to set you up on Monday. Okay, very important. If you come to us on Tuesday or Wednesday, we won't be able to do this for you next week. So important that you put in your application today if that is of interest to you. Okay, and I would suggest it's going to be a very lucrative announcement, so it's worth doing. Enrollment, again, very simple. Once you go to jointhegoldensilverclub.com, you have the following page. It will take you less than 1 minute to fill out. And once you've done so, we'll get in touch with you ASAP, and we look forward to welcoming you to the Gold and Silver Club. Okay, good. Right, so with that, guys, I wish you a very profitable afternoon today. Certainly, we've got some good setups as we come into this afternoon. Watch gold, silver, we've already gone for a sell short. Watch oil again later on this afternoon. We could get some breakout trades on that market. Have a great weekend. Thanks, Sharice, Binary.com and the team for hosting today's session. And, of course, we'll see you all on the next one. Okay, so take care, guys. Have a great weekend and look forward to hear from those of you who are going to join us for next week's live trading, the FOMC statement. Okay, thanks, guys. Bye-bye.